Except because our club recruited the best volleyball players in the city, we will have the best team in the city. Moreover, since the best team in the city will be the team most likely to win the city championship, our club will almost certainly be city champions this year.
There's so much wrong with this argument.
Yes. Okay, so let's start with what's our conclusion?
The conclusion is almost certainly be city champions this year.
Yes. And why are we saying that?
Based on the idea that you are going to be most likely to win the citizenship, based on the idea that you have the best team.
Yes.
And this is wrong for, like, step by step, it's wrong.
Yes.
Like,
why is it wrong?
the first one is having the best volleyball players doesn't guarantee you'll have the best team. That's one.
Why? Yes. So what kind of flaw is that?
That is the parts of the whole, right?
Whole parts of whole. Yep. What is you're assuming what is true of the parts will also be true of the whole. Excellent.
Since the best team in the city will be most likely to win the championship, that's another flaw because most likely does not almost certainly mean anything.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
Most likely is 51%. That's very different than like 90% of like almost certainly. Excellent. So you picked up on both of the flaws in this argument.
So the reasoning argument is flawed because the argument. Can I go into them?
Go for it. Yep. Start with A.
Without presenting relevant evidence that an entity can be distinguished as the best only on the basis of competition. My inclination is to get rid of this.
What does this mean?
This is saying the opposite, is that if it competes, then it has to be the best. Or that if it wins, it's the best.
It assumes that an entity can be distinguished as the best only on the base. Yeah, no, it's not competition. We don't assume that competition is the only way to determine the best. Excellent.
Right.
All right, what about B?
Yeah, this predicts the success of an entity on the basis of features that are not relevant to the quality of that entity. Okay, this is tricky because I feel like it's hinting towards parts of the whole, but not relevant is not right. It is kind of relevant.
Predicts the success of an entity on the basis of features that are not relevant to the excellent. The fact that we have the best volleyball players definitely is relevant to the argument. Mm-hmm. It's just not enough. Excellent.
Yeah. Predicts the outcome of a competition merely on the basis of a comparison between the parties in that competition. They didn't really compare anything.
Like what parties?
Yeah. Presumes without parting a warrant that if an entity is the best among its competitors, then each individual part of that entity must also be the best. I think the answer is E, and I don't know if it's right because I just feel like.
What did D mean though? Tell me what are your thoughts on D?
I think D is it could be right, but I feel like it's saying the opposite. It's saying that.
Tell me what is D saying?
They're basically saying we have the entity, and if this entity is the best, then every individual must be the best as well. The argument is saying no, well, the individuals are the best, and that's why the team is the best. It's saying the opposite.
Excellent. Okay, and then what is E saying?
Concludes that because an event is most likely of a set of.
Oh no, you cut out. But yes, just because an event is the most likely, the event is more likely to occur than not. Like it could be like just because you're most likely to win, like that could be like you have a 20% chance and everybody like this is like saying like at the beginning of like March Madness that the number one team is most likely to win. That doesn't mean that the team is almost certainly to be the champion, right? Like they could have like a 20% chance and there could be 8 other teams that have a 10% chance.
Exactly.
Like they don't have more than 50%. Excellent. Look at you, Nadia. This is such a hard question.
I